Hello, Steve Mills here, the Prudent Marketer. Welcome to this week's Association of Prudent Marketing weekly video. How many times have I said that now? I'm not sure. It's actually been quite a while, hasn't it? So I hope you're continuing to enjoy the program and benefiting from it. I know I keep going on and on and on about taking action because it really is the way forward. Just implement tiny little things, tiny steps. It's the old, how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. And that's what I'm trying to bring to you each week, a little piece at a time, a little incremental improvement. That's how you get from, I used to play table tennis, and when I started off, I was 13, and I played table tennis for England. And when I was 13, I started off and I played the whole first season in Division 14 in the Sheffield League. I kicked off, the season started in September. By January, have a guess how many matches my team had won? Well, the answer is none. We were bottom of the bottom. Guess how many matches I'd won? The score was the same. I hadn't actually won a match. And yet I just persevered. I kept going. I didn't sort of go, oh well, this is not for me. I practiced and practiced and practiced, and on my 18th birthday, four and a half years later it was, I played against a guy called Yu Hua, who was the Chinese and world champion. Played him at 9 o'clock in the morning on my birthday. I got, well and truly beaten, but, what a raise from, Division 14 of the Sheffield League by persevering to being on my 18th birthday, 4.5 years later, playing against the world champion. I lost 21-13, 21-12. And that's a few years ago, and I still remember that. So, keep going with it, keep going with your marketing. I really hope you keep going with the program, obviously. Today, I want to talk to you about something that you've probably heard of, and you might know what it's about, and you really should be doing. And that is something called remarketing, or retargeting, it's sometimes called. If you don't know what it is, you've probably actually been victim of it. And the process is this. Someone goes, let's say, to my website. I use this, so try it. Check my website out and you'll find this working for you. Someone goes to my website. They have a nosy around. We have a click on here and a click there and so on and so forth. And at the end of that process, they think, that was interesting, but right now I'm busy, right now I don't need Steve's help, maybe. Or they just think, something comes up, an urgent meeting, and they think I'll go back later. So what remarketing is the process of advertising to those people. In other words, people who are interested in you, people who have visited your website, okay? Now, the biggest player in the market is Google. So what you need to do is to set up a remarketing campaign within Google. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I don't know how to do this, Steve. The truth is, neither do I. So I just get my web guy to set this up nice and easy. It's not a big deal. I actually do sort of know how to do it, but I didn't bother doing it for myself. I just got our web guy to do it, and it's a fairly easy, slightly techie type thing. And once you've done it, that is it. Now let me explain how this works. So once somebody's visited my website, they disappear off. For 8 occasions, and you can set that as much or as little as you like, but I use 8. The old marketing saying is it takes 8 contacts to make a sale. So Google's got a load of partners. There's actually 2.5 million of them. So if you then disappear off onto one of Google's partner sites, you're going to find my advert. So you go to Steve Mills's website, theprudentmarketer.com, have a play around, have a little look round, and then you disappear over to YouTube. And you find Steve's advertising on there, and you think, oh wow, Steve must be doing really well if he's advertising on YouTube. You then skirt on over to Amazon, and he's over there as well. So you think, oh well, I'll go and have a look on YouTube, on eBay, and he's there as well. Wow, Steve's doing really well. He's very, he must be really good at what he does. And then you, I don't know, you pop over to the Daily Telegraph or the Times newspaper. Lo and behold, Steve's on that too. And you go to any one of 2.5 million Google partner sites, and there's the advert for the Prudent Marketer. Now, let me be clear. This is not because I'm advertising and paying for all this advertising. This advertising's free until and unless somebody clicks on my advert. Now, I want to be clear as well. This is only advertising to people who have been to my website, and therefore people who are interested in me. How do you like to advertise only to people who are interested in you and only pay anything if they actually click on your advert? You know, that for me is pretty much a no-brainer. Now, the good thing and the bad thing about this is banner advertising gets a very low click-through rate. So it's something like, on average worldwide, I'm not talking about my advert, I'm talking about worldwide. On average worldwide, it's 0.5%. So let's say you get 100 people to your website per day. 0.5%, so in other words, like half a person, is going to click on your advert. So basically you're looking at one person every couple of days if you get 100 people to your website every day. That's the ratio. Okay, so you may think, well, that's not very good, Steve, that's really poor. And yeah, that's one way of looking at it. So let's say you're paying something like 50p per click. And let's be positive and say that you're going to get one click every day. So one click every day, or even like 2 or 3 clicks every day. Let's say you get 5 clicks every day. That's going to cost you £2.50. That's going to cost you 150 quid a month to do this. And for that, for £150, you get to advertise to 8 times to anybody who visits your website. Now, just to give you some perspective here, I don't think I've ever had a bill of more than about £40 or £50, something like that per month. And yet I get so much good feedback. And the real benefit of it, I believe, is creating that wow effect. People go to my website and then they disappear off into the webosphere. And you know, some of them are going to see my advert on these Google partner sites. And the real reason I think you should try it is it creates that, oh wow, Steve's everywhere. You know, the Prudent Marketer, I keep seeing them, I see them again and again and again. They may or may not click on the link, but you know, the old thing about getting that name, getting that brand awareness, getting that, you know, the feeling that I know this company is in a way, arguably, I was going to say it's more powerful. It's not. I'd rather have the click and then them pick up the phone and call me. That's the truth. But I really do believe for, you know, let's say £40 or £50 a month, if you could get, you know, loads of people to see an advert of yours 8 times, people who are actually interested in you, then, you know, that might be a no-brainer for you. You know, it's certainly worth trying for a few months, isn't it? You know, try it for a few months, £50 a month for 3-4 months. If you don't want any business, you know what Prudent Marketing's all about. You don't keep going with something that doesn't work. Now, let me just clarify one thing for you that's quite important. Once you have got 10,000 visits, Google enable you to segment your advert. Let me explain what I mean. Just to clarify, you can't do this until you've had a reasonable amount of traffic, 10,000 visits. You can then advertise according to the page that people have visited. So let's say, for example, you visited a page on my website that was advertising, I don't know, sales training. I'm doing a sales training course, and you go to that page. When you disappear off that page, Google will present you with an advert for sales training. If you'd been to my LinkedIn training page, then Google would present you with an advert for LinkedIn training. So the advertising, once you've got to a certain level in terms of visits, can be segmented according to what people have looked at on your page. How cool is that, guys? You know, I really hope you think that's a good tip, because it really is. And the other thing I'd say to you with this is, none of your competitors are doing this right now. Now, dependent when you watch this advert, whether it's today or in 2 years' time when when you join the, something I've done a little while ago, depends on whether that is totally true. But my belief at the moment is that, marketing goes like this. It starts here, hardly anybody knows about it, and it goes along through 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, and everybody's starting to do this by now. And that's where we are. But we're here as far as remarketing is concerned. It's been around for about a year. You go and speak to a load of businesses and business people and ask them if they're using remarketing. And my belief, my perception is that a significant amount of them won't be. So use it. By the way, this idea of 8 views of the advert, I think is quite important. You don't want to be stalking them around the internet forever. People do get, let's say, I'll be polite and say slightly miffed if you're forever advertising to them, forever and ever and ever, and a year's worth of advertising. Everywhere they go, they see you. So that's why I think you should limit it to perhaps a maximum of 8 viewings. So you get to see my advert 8 times and then you disappear. And by the way, it's important to set a daily budget for this. What you don't want is 10,000 people clicking on your advert one day at 50p each. That might be a little bit too much. So you set yourself a daily budget. Mine's 20 quid. So once, if for some reason I did an email campaign, I got loads of people to my website and a load of people clicked and came back, as soon as my budget's hit £20, then the remarketing stops and I don't spend any more. So again, prudency, prudent marketing. We don't want to risk 1,000 clicks at 50p or 10,000 clicks at 50p. We don't want to risk that, so we set a budget. Whatever you feel comfortable with, dependent on the size of your business, the number of people visiting your website, and so on and so forth. So thank you ever so much for listening, and you can just hear now my phone's going, so I'm going to go and answer that, and look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thank you.